The Biden administration wants $30 billion more to fight COVID, even after receiving trillions. With inflation soaring, do we really need billions of dollars more in government spending? Joining me now is Arkansas Congressman French Hill, member of the House Financial Services Committee. French, thanks for joining me. So answer that question. So $30 billion in new domestic COVID spending. Actually, USAID asked for $5 billion to help vaccinate the rest of the world. What's your take? Is this contributing all this Democrat government spending to inflation?
Well, sure. Our fiscal policy is completely out of control, Sean, and it's contributing to inflation along with a too lax monetary policy and our supply chain issues. But the fundamental issue is too much demand generated by $6 trillion injected in our economy. If the Biden administration wants to prioritize spending, there's over almost $1 trillion of COVID-19 relief money not spent yet, including like $156 billion of the Department of Human Services. So my advice to him is not to ask for more money, but to reprioritize and redirect money that Congress has already approved but not yet spent.
So, French, I mean, politics is local, right? And we know that in polling, the number one issue, and you probably see this back at home, the number one issue for Americans is inflation. And so as you talk to your colleagues, the Democrats in the House, are they at all concerned about all this spending and rising inflation and they themselves, their party, getting blamed for rising prices?
You know, some might be, Sean, but I think the Democratic Party has lost its mind. I think it's been taken over by economic illiterates like their budget committee chairman, who says there's no limit to the amount of money that we can borrow and spend because we're the USA with the US dollar. That is a naive, historically inaccurate, and dumb point of view. And just last week, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, pretty much said the same thing on national TV on the Sunday shows. So I think they're out of touch with reality. That's why we need to go back to pre-pandemic spending priorities and get our spending under control and in order.
Well, that won't start until Republicans take control of the House next year, if that should happen in the elections. But I want to get your take on this because it's the Senate Banking Committee, but then in the House, which you serve on, the Financial Services Committee, that makes sure that our banks and our markets work correctly. When I looked at Canada, and I look at what happened with Trudeau, the fact that he was able to shut down bank accounts and credit cards, freeze crypto wallets, protesters who he did not like. Does that concern you that those same policies could come to our shores in America?
Absolutely. That's why I don't support every American citizen having a central bank account at our Federal Reserve. This is an imitation of what China is doing to control its citizens through a surveillance society, including our money. And it's one reason why Congress was in an uproar, Sean, about their proposal in the budget to investigate every household that spends more than $600 in their checking account. So this is the kind of thing that Americans obviously reject. It's against our liberties. And we've seen firsthand how Canada's overreacted and penalized those truckers. It's really an out-of-control situation.
And I think, French, a lot of people think that's just in Canada, but you and I know this because I served with you on financial services, is that back in 2013, under the Obama years, there was a program called Operation Choke Point that was instituted by the FDIC. And Operation Choke Point was to put pressure on banks to stop banking businesses that were legal that they didn't like gun dealers, smoke shops, and small dollar lenders. And frankly, small dollar lenders almost went out of business because if you can't bank, you can't do business in America. Again, do you see this as a play happening right now in the Biden administration?
I do, because the Biden administration has taken that play from the Obama playbook by reappointing Martin Gruenberg, who was the FDIC chairman, who instigated Operation Choke Point. And thanks to Republicans and Republican oversight, much of which led by you, that was pulled back from the brink of his outrageous extra-statutorial actions. But I am concerned about it because the Green New Deal and climate is the number one issue of the Biden administration. And I don't think they'll go I think they could go well beyond their statutory authorities by trying to intimidate financial institutions from lending to develop the badly needed oil and gas reserves that we need to run our economy.
So to that point, right, so we have, this is not a government policy, but some of the larger banks in America won't bank things that they don't like, right? Like you just mentioned, oil and gas. But also our banks are chartered, whether it's, a federal charter or a state charter. Will the Congress look to say, well, if you want to do political lending, we also can play politics in Congress as well, and maybe see if we could pull your charter? Is that a step too far, or is that something that the Congress looks at?
Well, you bring up a really interesting point. My philosophy on that point is I think shareholders out there across our country should submit conservative ideas before the proxy, before the board of directors, and get shareholder support. We don't want to disadvantage the shareholders across our country. Those are labor unions. Those are 401k plans. Those are exchange-traded funds. And when you limit your profitable investment opportunities that are legal, you're hurting shareholders. And I think people should rise up and push corporations to make sure that they lend across the board to everything that could have a profitable opportunity to produce profits for those labor unions, those 401k plans.
So we're going down a rabbit hole here, French, but I got to ask you this because we have proxy advisory firms. I don't want to go in the weeds, but proxy advisory firms give advice on how money managers should vote the shares, right? And so you have your money with one of these money managers, and they're voting your shares for you. And frankly, the two main proxy advisory firms are really left-leaning. And so, again, I take your point. But again, when you have these two liberal firms that are making the recommendations, I don't see a way we get out of this cycle.
Well, we need individual investors to stand up. They are abdicating their responsibility by giving up their voting of those shares to exchange-traded funds, to mutual funds, to money managers. They need to say, no, I want this company run for the long run to benefit me as a shareholder, build shareholder value, and help increase my net worth, and not run a social experiment.
100%, Congressman. French, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it.
You bet, Sean. Good to be with you.